with the line. Let's get out of here.
So we're staying up.
We are.
It was a dramatic day.
Oh.
Nerves all over the place. How does it feel?
Very, very relieved. Very relieved. And also very positive as well. Now that we've stayed up, keep Redknapp, just keep the fans on side, keep the fans coming, and this is all looking good.
Shay Adams, the hero.
Yep, definitely.
You didn't pick him in your starting 11.
No, I didn't, but you know, sometimes even the best can be wrong. So.
Is he one of the players that you'd like to keep next season?
Yeah, I'd give everybody a few months just to prove that it was Zola that was the problem, and then we'll see how it goes after that.
How much money do you think we would need to spend in order to make a promotion push?
The thing is, I lose track of all the stupid money that goes around now. Is 30 million a stupid number? Yeah, 30 million. It means nothing to me because you've got players that are not really worth anything going for silly money, and I don't understand it.
And what about Harry? What about his relationship with the fans?
Yeah, he's just endeared himself to us, didn't he? From the word go. And we knew he was going to be the right manager. My only concern was it too late? But no, in the end it was perfect.
It was nearly too late. We were one goal away from going down.
Yeah,
that's the reality.
A bit nervy that the end, the finish. For whatever reason, Bristol City really wanted to relegate us.
And their fans were singing to us when Blackburn took the lead, 1-0 to the Blackburn boys.
Yeah, I'm happy they've gone down now. What a joke of a club they are. But I think Blackburn were.
You're right.
I think Blackburn were a nothing club even when they were in the Premier League. They were always one of the poorest supported teams in the Premier League, even when they were finishing in European positions. Very crappy club. I think they're another ones with the drum as well. Yeah, it's philosophical at the end of a season. Have we got more questions?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be afterwards. Oh, for fuck's
Are there any big name players that you think we should target? Obviously Harry's got a lot of contacts.
Yeah. It's going to be sort of players on the way down in their career, isn't it? We're going to become a bit like, excuse me, Fulham. Do you remember Fulham getting promoted in the year of 2001? And they did it with a team of a lot of like sort of ex-Premier League players who never really amounted to something. John Collins, Boa Morte, Louis Saha kind of players. We could do the same thing, I think. To be honest with you, it's just about attitude of the players, and I'm sure that that's helped by a good manager anyway. So.
No, you can see the difference on him.
Yeah. It just brings positivity, doesn't it?
Look, I mean, he's got the same number of wins in 3 games that Zola had in 24.
Like the thing is, I can imagine sitting with Harry Redknapp in Subway or wherever, just really having a laugh. With Zola, I always get the impression that even if you told him the funniest joke or wisecrack ever, he'd sort of give that sort of polite smile, that sort of, oh yeah, no, I'm not really, complete twat.
No, let's make it clear, I don't think he's a bad guy. He's just not suited to being a football manager.
It's hard, it'll take a while for me to kind of look at him as a good guy again. Because he was a cheat as a player as well, so.
I thought you liked him as a player.
Yeah, but he was a cheat. Like Ronaldo and Messi and players like that. Mark Hughes. Just imagine like this sort of everyday scenario. You're stranded in like the jungle in Colombia. You're on a tour or something like that. Your bus has broken down. You try not to sort of draw attention to yourself, and somebody in your party starts shouting over and say, "Hey, Colombian twats over here," or something like that. And you end up being held hostage. You're beaten, pistol whipped and what have you. But somehow you manage to get rescued by the army or whatever. Now, you're happy you've been rescued, but are you going to actually in any way let off the bloke who's put you in that in the first place? Yeah, we are celebrating, and we can now be more honest about it and less emotional about it because we've survived. But the general attitude of the Zola apologists, they caused this to happen because, of course, Zola was not going to walk if he felt that the fans were on his side. It's the usual apathy that caused the problem. Same with McLeish. But hopefully now, it's twice now this has happened. Hopefully there's not a third time.
Do we need to reach some kind of happy balance? Because I think one of the things that makes us great as a club is we're not whingy fans, we're not overly dramatic. Certain clubs would have the bedsheets out after 1 or 2 losses.
They would, yeah.
But we also need to maybe be a bit more critical when things are going wrong.
I said earlier on in the season at one point that typical Blues, that this season typical Blues would have been hang on to Gary Rowett, we reach the playoffs, we lose painfully in the playoffs, and then Gary Rowett, because he's done so well, gets a better offer and he leaves, and suddenly we're in the shit next year. That's Blues. We could laugh about that, we could say, oh God, look at that, so close to the Premier League and we're crap this year. But it's hard to joke when you can see the club disintegrating before your eyes. As I said, just a shame. I think that the players overachieved with Rowett, underachieved under Zola, and
achieved?
Yes, achieved under Redknapp. Is there a possibility, do you think, as well, that if Redknapp does decide to give this another stab for a season, he might even bring Jamie Redknapp into the equation, possibly?
As what, a player?
Who knows? I mean, as well, let's not forget he's related to Frank Lampard.
There was even a rumour that John Terry might come to us a couple of weeks ago.
Say no to that. But with Jamie Redknapp coming now, which pretty much looks like a certainty, I would say there's going to be more of Louise Redknapp knocking around, and then possibly as a result of that, the rest of the girls from Eternal. So could be.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, good group.
But back to the players. I think we should be quite proud of them as a group, in the sense that, as bad as things got, they had a pretty good relationship with us as fans, and you saw the way they came over to us. It meant a lot to them, and they understood what it meant to us.
Definitely. Definitely. I like the fact that us as Blues supporters can just go to any part of the country, any ground, and ultimately behave the same way. And we don't give a shit where we are, do we?
Did you see them coming over the advertising boards?
Yeah, I did. That was so good.
How do you think this day ranks up there with the best ones?
Yeah, well, definitely one of them. Definitely one of them. Along with Bolton away, along with most of the early Villa games, Carling Cup final, the quarter final, the semi-final, Ipswich away. A lot of them, a lot of good ones.
There's been some confusion over the Ipswich incident.
Yeah, the Nando's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to go into too much detail, but we'd class ourselves as Nando's connoisseurs.
Yeah.
Whereas all the Nando's in the West Midlands will, if they're busy, say to you something along the lines of, okay, it's going to be about a 20-minute wait, is that alright? You sit there and within 5 minutes you're at the table. We were there in Ipswich and Nando's, they said 10-minute wait. 15 minutes later we were no closer to eating, so of course we saw a table free. We decided to go on it, and instead of just saying, okay, you know what, paying customers and guests as well, tourists, technically we're tourists.
Yeah.
They decided to start giving a bit of attitude, and we weren't really in the mood for it that day. And it's just another episode in terms of Blues fans being targeted. Can't eat fish and chips in Blackpool, can't eat chicken in Ipswich. Ultimately, it's a victory this season. It's a victory that shouldn't have happened in the way that it did. But next season will definitely be better than this season. As long as we can keep Harry Redknapp, I think we could be a very serious contender for promotion. Big shout out as well to all the fans this season, the real life fans at the games, fans that sometimes we bump into in public, fans on social media, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, the other photograph one, MySpace, Bebo. The support means a lot, and hopefully next season, whether we're online, in the stadium, knocking around outside the stadium, whatever, we can all just unite and get behind the team. And I'm sure that we should be a force to reckon with next season. From Dave and myself, and you know, look out for other things maybe going on in the summer. I just want to say that we love you very much, and yeah, keep right on.